This is Astrobot, and this is Mario. They are the same.
Gaming is built on mascots. Nintendo has the heaviest hitters with Mario, Link, and Pikachu. Xbox has, like, Master Chief, Steve Minecraft, I guess, and, like, Forza car. But Sony's kind of... how do I put this eloquently? Sony's mascot situation is straight up fucked. If you ask a 40-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 10-year-old who PlayStation's mascot is, you're probably going to get 4 very different answers. So, what the hell happened? Why has Sony got no consistency with their mascots? What's up with this weird rash on my arm? We're gonna explore what the hell happened here and why PlayStation's mascots got kinda screwed up over time. So we're gonna start in the Stone Ages, the early 1990s.
Hello, citizens of Europe. As spokesperson for SAPS, I'd like to talk to you about a menace threatening humanity. It's happening right here. I'm talking about this. It may look like a harmless bagel toaster, but inside is bagel toaster donut. How do you know bagel toaster is not a normal bagel toaster? Scientists lose all sense of reality and enter bagel toaster. Here we have a normal, healthy young man. Proof that we saps must be on our guard. Remember, do not underestimate the power of bagel toaster.
I feel like everyone knows the story by now, or at least they should. Nintendo, the early gaming juggernaut that they were, planned on developing a disc system in collaboration with Sony Pictures Entertainment, but pulled their deal at the last minute in favor of working with Philips. And we all know how that turned out.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
My boy.
Sony, going full tilt revenge in a bid to take Nintendo down a peg, decides that they're going to use the development done on the console that they were doing together to develop their own console, the Sony PlayStation. Early on here in North America, they used a character called the Polygon Man, mostly in print in order to show off the PSX's capabilities. And this guy is, easily one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Oh, just, like, look at it. He's awful. Needless to say, this guy never appeared in the game. Okay, well, does that really count, though? And was promptly shelved forever. So, what's PlayStation to do? They had their console, they were able to grip their audience with the most 90s ass marketing imaginable, but they still needed someone to reflect the PlayStation brand, and they needed someone to compete with Nintendo's Mario and Sega's Sonic. Guess Sonic's not a problem anymore. Anyway, they needed a mascot that happened to rival Mario, so the natural place to start was to find a platformy fuck that would give them a leg up on the competition. Luckily, as it happened, a small little startup called Naughty Dog, a company consisting of less than like 15 people at this point, was developing a little game called Sonic's Ass Game.
Whoa!
Or, as you may know today, Crash Bandicoot. Eventually, Sony just kind of decided, yeah, that'll work, and decided to push all chips in on this freaky little orange marsupial. They published Crash Bandicoot, ordered 2 more games, and due to success and exclusivity to the PlayStation, Crash became intrinsically tied to the brand, even to this day. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm just playing Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy on my Xbox One console, which, yes, I unfortunately own. Parents got it instead of a PS4 back in the day. Pretty sure that's considered child abuse. So, what the hell happened? Crash was so closely tied to the PlayStation brand that he's the first of our mascots discussed here. But nowadays, their main competitor owns the franchise. So, I don't get it. Well, Sony didn't own Crash, and this is where they kind of ended up shooting themselves in the foot. See, Naughty Dog was initially owned by Universal Publishing, and the only reason Crash stayed exclusive was because of Sony's contract to develop the 3 main Crash games. Once that contract expired, Crash ended up going multi-plat. A few games worth of development hell, redesigns, infrequent releases, and a whole bunch of other junk, and Crash was effectively capital D dead. Crash ended up in the grubby little hands of Activision, and thus Activision Blizzard, which, if you didn't know, is just the best company. Crash got a full-on remake trilogy, quadrilogy, a brand new quote-unquote 4th game, and it gets published to other consoles. Activision Blizzard gets a little quirky and gets acquired by Microsoft, so Crash is officially done with PlayStation. He's still represented in games to this day as being a part of the PlayStation legacy, but he's not owned by them at all. Okay, one down. Who's next? Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, I'm not going to rehash it all because, funnily enough, Spyro ends up going through the exact same shit as Crash. Developed by Insomniac, yes, that Insomniac, gets sold before Sony acquires Insomniac, and it ends up in the hands of Activision. The only difference is that Spyro's dead, wrinkly corpse got paraded around Skylanders for the majority of the 2010s, and he never got a Spyro 4 after his remake trilogy. Poor guy. So Sony just kind of raw dogs it for a little while and goes mascotless. Game after game releases, generations pass, and Sony coasts mostly on their 3D action games. God of War is doing pretty well, we've got Infamous, Uncharted. They're doing good, and they don't really need a mascot, but they really want one. They really want one. They technically have these two, a pair of cats named Kuro and Toro, but due to their series not releasing very often here overseas, they don't exactly have the marketing appeal that they need. They need someone new. They need someone fresh. They need... I fucking love this little dude. Sackboy, hailing from Little Big Planet, a 2.5D platformer where you can kind of create your own levels, is one of my favorite little guys ever. He's so precious, he's so cute, he's so fucking murderous in his first trailer for some reason. Jesus Christ, calm down. He's great, I love him. And best of all, he's actually owned by PlayStation. I mean, he wasn't at first, but after Media Molecule put out one of the biggest games of 2008 on Sony's brand new PlayStation 3, Sony bought them up right quick. Yay for cutthroat business practices. Either way, now that Little Big Planet was under their belt, they had a proper mascot and a genuinely fun and unique game exclusive to their consoles. So again, I have to ask, what happened? Well, they released 3 games over the span of 6 years for starters, and that's only if you're counting the main entries of the series. If you include all the side stuff, it's 6, and that's pretty bloated. No, I think the real thing that killed it was the additional 6 years without another entry, and then the next thing they release is fucking Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Are you kidding me? Fuck, dude, I think Little Big Planet going 3D would be cool as hell, but this game doesn't have any of the create functions like the previous games, which was like the whole point. Little Big Planet's levels were literally built from the exact same functions that you, the player, could use in the game's create features. This was just a generic 3D platformer. That's fun, that's cool, but like, that's not Sackboy, that's not Little Big Planet, that's not...
Okay, but what about Ultimate Sackboy?
What? I will turn you into a fucking chandelier! So Sony releases 3 games super quickly and abandons the franchise for years at a time. And the worst part is, this is a fucking pattern for them. Ape Escape, Twisted Metal, God of War, Uncharted, Infamous, fucking Loco Roco! In a relatively recent interview, the CFO of PlayStation himself, Hiroki Totoko, said they don't have enough original IPs to build audiences around, and man, I don't mean to be respectful, but yes, you fucking do! There's more dead PlayStation IPs than there are alive IPs. It's purely because these people at the top refuse to do anything about it. Let's shift perspective for a second. Nintendo's the biggest gaming developer out there at the moment, right? And it's not because of their stupid gimmicks or their whack-ass one-offs. It's genuinely because they've spent their entire existence cultivating a strong, self-sustaining fan base centered around a select number of tentpole franchises. You want a game that's just pure fun for the whole family gameplay? They've got Mario. You want a game that allows you to explore a fun, fantasy-filled world and fight monsters? Nothing better than The Legend of Zelda. You want a game that lets you hang out with a bunch of cute animals and also do some dog fighting while you're at it? Pokemon. You want a franchise that gets repeatedly abandoned for decades at a time? Metroid. Oh god, is Metroid a PlayStation franchise? Like, for fuck's sake, these games have gotten nothing but consistent and loving releases for years. That's how you build an audience, by leaving your franchise out to die or get scooped up, Sony. All you're doing is leaving your audience disappointed in your numbers plummeting. You used to be on top, and look at you now. Which leads us to Astrobot. This little... oh, fuck, I forgot about Knack. Astrobot is the most precious little guy. He's cute, he's fun, and most of all, his game is a celebration of everything that PlayStation is. I mean, the dude flies a giant PS5, for fuck's sake. Look at him, he's a walking, breathing advertisement. But he's received nothing but critical acclaim. And you know why? It's because he's fun, he's cute, and you know what? It's charming to collect all his little friends. All these little other PlayStation IPs that people grew up with. I mean, look at me. I lost my shit when I saw my three favorite little guys from Infamous just chilling together. I haven't seen these guys since 2014, but look at them. They're all just hanging out together. I miss them a lot. But this guy's going places. And if Sony doesn't fumble it for the 40th time, this guy could lead the charge to bring PlayStation into a new age of prosperity. And all it took them was looking back to their past, to their origins, of ripping off Mario.